stuff today about the game that's gonna pop up. Game 5. All the hype and speculation has been pouring in, and people really want me to be wrong. You're wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Look, if I'm wrong, I lose what, 50, $60? It's not all gonna go to pot because I lost $60. Uh, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think there's gonna be I think there's gonna be a changing of the guard this game. I think something's gonna happen where what is wrong with this ant? He is going crazy. I think there's gonna be a changing of the guard this game. I think it would look weird. It would, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. We've been talking. We got into a conversation about upsets. Oh, who's this? this Hold on a second. I got to turn this up. Hey, what's going on? What's up, Tone? You really think KD playing tonight will change? Okay, so see, that's why I like you guys because you just told me something I didn't know. Hey, do you think KD can bring this team back? Okay, okay. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, if you follow what I said in the last video, if you haven't, go back and look in the last video because you guys are asking me questions, um, which is cool. But the answer to that, I had already answered those questions that you answered. But KD haven't played in more than a month. That is not going to make a difference. All right, so listen. What did I say was going to happen? I'm like, okay, so KD being out, boom, makes a difference. Makes a huge difference, right? You're talking about easy 25 average 30 points. The man scored 50 points against Portland. They dominated them. Clay is back in the game. Now you got, and Steph Curry's back in the game, even though I'm sure he's pretty tired. Listen, they did this on purpose. This is not an accident. This is not some so and so just got all of a sudden became healthy. No, 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 no. The answer, do I think? Yeah, I think it makes a big difference. I think 100% KD is going to come in and smash them. And I told you guys, I said, listen, the Raptors can't beat them when they're at full force. No one can. And what they did is they pulled on Superman's cape. KD's not Superman, the whole team. And I'm telling you, they're gonna come in and they're gonna smash them. I said this 2 videos ago. KD comes back, it's gonna be lights out. They're gonna smash them. They're gonna smash them. Now, they've been giving Kawhi all kind of when he gets in foul trouble. He's getting in not him getting in foul trouble, but people been getting in foul trouble uh, uh, with him, and he's been getting all the calls. Listen, listen to everything that's going on. There's a way to shut it all down. There is definitely a way to shut Kawhi Leonard down and not get in foul trouble. You can close his driving lanes if that's how he's making most of his points. You can easily close his driving lanes. Listen. You can trap him and off of one of the weaker players and make the weaker player take the three. Listen, you don't give the ball you don't give the ball to Jordan and dare him to take the last shot. You don't do that stuff. You don't do that stuff. You don't give the ball to the best player on the team and say, "Let me see if you can make it." No, you trap down on him. You make sure he doesn't come into the. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. All right, let's talk about what happened in 2016. In 2016, history was made. How was history made? No team had ever came back from a 3-1 deficit. None. Braun and them did it. Yeah, Warriors in 7. That's what I'm saying. Braun and them did it. Now, he's at 90. Listen, man. I'm telling. Listen, I'm only telling y'all what I see. So tell him, do you think that KD was playing with? Absolutely, but it wasn't KD. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now. He's not even gonna have to come in and score his big 50 points. All he has to do is hold it down. All he has to do is hold it down, come out with 30 points, 35. I'm telling you, it was all a ruse. It's all a lie. Oh, the baby Jesus, you're wrong. It's time for. Well, there's a problem with something new though. It's a there's a see. The problem isn't that Canada wins. Yeah. The problem isn't that Canada wins, especially if they're trying to go international with basketball. It's a good look to let Canada win. It gives more. It encourages more teams to come into the league, right? So I can understand that if you're going for the money game on the long haul, let Canada win. Canada wins. Yeah. Let Canada win. Go when you let Canada win. What happens? More international team comes in. You get. I mean, they're not going to get Mexico. We don't have anybody in Mexico. They would have to make up a team for Mexico, but that's a neighboring country. Honduras, Mexico. You get some of those countries. But really, what they're looking at is the European countries. England, France. Heading out towards in those directions. But like I said, if they're going to start doing that on a regular basis, they're going to have to build out a whole NBA to compensate for that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but let's just say that they're not doing that right now, and they let a non-American team win. I'm just not having that right. Look, I would love to be wrong. Make me wrong. I've been wrong before. I don't mind being wrong. Make me wrong, but this is just not the way I see it. You guys know I try to call it like I see it. I can't see it, but anything's possible. It's 3-1. If it goes down, let's go. But they're gonna have a problem because they're doing it with the wrong person. Kawhi Leonard is not the person to build a legacy off of. He is the exact opposite person to build a legacy off of. He is the complete opposite of loyal. That's not who you. That's listen. He's what's going to happen to Toronto next year? What's going to happen to him? They're going to make it to the first round of the playoffs and tank, if that. If that. Look at the players that they got and tell me where they came from. Tell me how long have the Canadian players been on that team? And you're gonna probably find out the top 3 or 4 probably just got to that team a year ago. They won't listen. You know who the Raptors are going to be next year? And this is why it's going to be so bad for an international look. This is why it's a bad thing for them to do it with Kawhi. Listen, if they was going to do this, they should have did this 10, 20 years ago. So, Tony, if the Raptors win tonight, do you still think the NBA is fixed for the Raptors to win it all? Let's just say this. When you can tell me what exactly happened to KD, I'll tell you that the NBA is not fixed. I'll tell you, 100%. I'll be like, nah, it's not fixed. Tell me what happened to KD. Tell me what happened in 2016 to the Warriors when the best backcourt shooting team in the league that won 73 games lost in the finals to some hokey calls. That was so obvious that no, bro, that wasn't a calf injury, bro. Come on, did you look at the play? Nah, bro. Nah. Look at the play. And he's been out for a month. No, 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 no. Nah, bro. KD, he was told to do that. But you know, we can speculate. We can put on tinfoil hats all day. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It looked as nobody touched him. He didn't listen. He didn't come down off of a Hayward rebound or go up and leg to the side. It looked like he just I don't feel like playing anymore. Right, right, right. I was like, okay, this wasn't a LeBron James split and he pulled a groin. This was a what? And what? Oh, okay, you say calf injury. Okay, fine. When there's a groin injury, we know exactly what it is. What is the calf injury? And don't say when you injure the calf. Tell me, did he sprain the calf? Did he pull the calf? What injury? What happened to the calf? He pull a muscle? Did he tear a muscle? Did he? What exactly did he do? A calf injury? That's vague as hell. And what leg was it? And what exactly caused it? They say it's a sprained calf. All right. So let's look at the time that KD has been out. Been over a month. The right leg. Have you ever had a sprained calf? Have you ever had a sprained calf? Do you know anyone who's ever had a sprained calf? I've had a sprained calf before. Yeah, I've had a sprain. I used to be a runner. I've had a sprained calf before. You know how long it takes to get over a sprained calf? Usually about a day or two. And that's just being real. If you pull the calf, that's different because the muscle is coming from where it's connected. It's coming. It's pulling. It's if you hyperextended or anything like that. If you catch a cramp in it or any, that's not what happened. From one athlete to another, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I could see maybe just to tweaked a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I could see tweaked a little bit. I could see I could see spraying but I was just like, why is he still not playing? It just doesn't take long to get over that injury. And with the technology that they have today, no. This man didn't go up and then come down as some colossal jump shot. It looked like he just decided, up, it's time for me to walk off the floor. I'm just telling you what I saw. I know what a sprained calf looks like. I know. I used to run track, hamstring, all that. Yeah, you catch all that. Listen. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Right. But let me ask you something. As far as a sprained calf is concerned, have you ever seen another basketball player get a sprained calf? Any, any basketball player. Just no, because you can put on a tinfoil hat and say all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you start looking at facts, you start looking at numbers. Instead of hypothesis, this, that, and the other, when you start looking at numbers, just throw some numbers in there. And let's get some, because numbers ain't gonna lie to you. How many basketball players have you ever, college, NBA, anything, you known to get a sprained calf? And how long were they out? A sprained right calf. Yeah, that's the way you got to start thinking about it. A groin injury doesn't even take a month to come back, and that's a hard injury. A pulled muscle doesn't even take that long to come back. It just doesn't. A sprained calf. Just yeah, somebody enlighten me to where they saw a basketball player get a sprain. One of you guys will look up on YouTube and see where Olajuwon or Clyde the Glide or you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. One of you guys a coach or somebody got a sprain calf. I don't know. Kerr, somebody, and Matumbo, Dennis Rodman. If anybody would get a sprained calf, I would. Yeah, 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 yeah. No one. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. There is not one player that I know of, but you guys know more than I do. That's why I asked the question. I don't go, I know everything. I put the question out there. Yeah, what up with you? I put the question out there, and you guys tell me. Exactly. It's a phantom injury. Most people know that the NBA is really now nothing is shocking. Well, that's not true. That's not true because I'm talking to one of you on here right now. Don't believe it. Don't come at me like I'm talking common sense because it ain't so. Not everybody believes it, bro. But I'm not here to convince you guys that the NBA is fixed. I did this because my neighbor was asking me one day about why I don't watch basketball. You know what I'm saying? I like making predictions, and try to look through the nonsense and why something's gonna happen. Because even when I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, okay, this happened. All right, so I was wrong. It's not a big deal to me. I'm just letting you guys know. Has anybody out there ever got a sprained calf? And the answer is no. I don't even know anyone in high school basketball, college basketball, women, men, kids, whatever. No one has ever got a sprained calf that I know of. That I know of. My wind is kicking up. Yeah, that's what I asked. What did KD have? And somebody said he had a sprained calf. I'm like, please explain that. I wish you watched the game because You're Alive would be insane good. I want to know what a sprained calf is. I want to know somebody who got a sprained calf. I want to know what the doctor said about it. I want to know what the recovery time is. Because let me tell you guys something. If that spring calf is broke, if what's going to happen, it, listen, if what happens is what I think is going to happen, that spring calf is going to come back to bite the whole league. It's going to come back and it's going to bite the whole league. That one injury is going to bite the whole league in the buns. And you guys are like, why? Because of what they did. They tried to play the people for a fool. They try to play the people for a fool. I'm telling, listen, I told you guys, if KD comes back, they're gonna wipe those boys off the floor. They're gonna beat them. I gave a whole scenario if he comes back, what'll happen. But look, I hope I'm wrong. What up? I don't think so. I think, listen, listen, listen. This is what I think is gonna happen. I think, I think KD is gonna get in there, and they're gonna beat him by 20, right? Everybody's gonna calm down with all the Game 5 nonsense after that. Okay, they beat him by 20. Then they're gonna all talk about it's not fair with KD being in there because KD overpowers the team. But they was all talking, everybody except Canada. Canada doesn't really talk trash, you know what I'm saying? Those people aren't really like that. But nonetheless, the Americans are just like, yeah, we want to see this, that, and the third. Nah, bruh. KD comes back in there. If he starts, listen, 15 points in the first quarter. If you see 10, 15 points in the first quarter, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm just trying to tell you. 20, 25 point deficit loss. The next game is listen. The next game is going to be closer, maybe a 5 point loss. Then the last game they'll make it a barn burner. You know what happened in the last game? He'll play for a while, then he'll sit down. Then when they need him, he'll go back in. And they'll be like, okay, we're up 15, come out. And when the people see, this is the way they're going to have to do it. And when the people see this, it's going to be lights out for the NBA. You're going to get more complaints than not. Because people realize no team can beat this team straight up. It's not even, you don't cremate Portland and then come in and lose to the Raptors. You just doesn't work like that. That's not even sound logic. You swept them 4 games without KD, and no, it's just not sound logic. It just doesn't make any sense. And the more sense that it doesn't make, the less tickets that they're gonna sell. They have to make it make sense. KD sits out, Golden State starts to lose. That makes sense to them. When he comes back and then they still lose, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. KD sat down 2 games before the Portland series was over with. They knew they were gonna win. No, bro. They just playing with y'all. Now, as far as me watching the game live, I don't have ESPN. I don't have a TV. I just have a computer. I could probably stream it. I don't want to pay into any subscription. It's just not something I want to spend money on. Um, but what I do is I look at the updates. So, while I'm, getting ready to call it quits or read my Bible or, whatever in between YouTube videos, I will look and say, oh, okay, so and so's up, so and so's down, and prepare, for my next video, that type of thing. And then I'll look at some highlights, maybe catch a few stats, but you guys know more of the stats than I do. I just don't get that deep into it. However, if you guys want me to, I will stream live during the game if you want me to. But that's like a super extra effort for me because I really don't care. But if you want me to, I'll go live. So it's kind of you guys' call. You know what I'm saying? If you guys come on, we could chat it up. You guys can tell me how you feel. But what I'm saying? Usually that's something I wouldn't want to do. So that's kind of an option for you guys. If you're looking to get my opinion as the game progresses, you got to understand uh, I'm not going to be looking directly at the game. I'm going to be looking at the updates. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking at the updates, and then I'll be looking at a play that just happened. I'm not going to be looking at the plays as it happened. So I'll be looking at replay. So if you guys mention something, I'll go and I'll look at the Yes. Yeah. Listen. Only way it isn't if KD sits down. That's it. If he sits down, it's lights out. That's it. If they sit him down in game 6, listen, if KD comes in and torches him and then game 6 they sit him down or he feigns an injury, that is it. Toronto will win. Toronto will win if KD feigns an injury. He acts like his calf hurts him again or he starts hobbling or anything like that, you already know what it is. That'll be it. But truthfully, I think they could have beat them without KD. But if you want to show, if you want to have a show of force, to me, that's a show of force. You want to pull out all of your weapons and be like, okay, we're just going to stomp you guys into the ground. That's what I think is going to happen tonight. If everybody's at full force, they're just too tough. I think they're just gonna. I think they're gonna run them in the ground. Listen, 20 points is generous. I think it's gonna be worse than that. But that's just what I think. But I'm just saying, I think it's gonna be worse than that. It wouldn't surprise me if they beat them by 30. That's all I'm saying. Shoot, listen. I'm so confident that I will take a bet just on this game. I'll bet $20 on this game alone. If anybody wants to take that, but I want my money tomorrow. So if anybody wants to bet me on this game alone, come on. Come on, you might win $20. I'll take a bet on this game. Yeah. If Durant is in the game, I'll take 20 on it. For this game alone. Any takers? Y'all ain't got no confidence in Toronto? All that Kawhi is the greatest? No? No takers? No. That's already happened. When Cleveland did it in 2016, they came back against Golden State. They made history. 28. Shoot. I got Durant dropping 34. I got Durant dropping 34. Yeah. Yeah, don't make history. But if they burn those boys, it would behoove them, it would benefit the NBA to let Durant only play 2 quarters of the game and then have a questionable whatever for game 6. I don't think they were a better team. But if the NBA really wants to play it and make it seem like everything's on the up and up, what Durant will do is come in and he'll score 15, 20, right? Top of the second quarter, boom. Sits down. Nobody really knows why. And it'll be the same look, though. It won't be somebody bumped into him. He'll take a J when he comes down. He'll baby that right calf again. Then he'll go sit down, you know, hobble a little bit, sit down, boom, put somebody else in. But they have to be up, though. They have to be up by 15. You know what I'm saying? Like his points would have to matter. It would have to be the deficit. So they'd be up by 15. Third quarter, boom, it's getting close again. Uh, and let's say they're down by 5. They're down by 5. KD steps back in the game, hits them for 10 points. They're up by 5. They win by 3. They win by 3. Boom. Boom, bam, that's it. That would be more plausible than what I think is going to happen. That would be a better storyline because KD would be questionable for game 6. So the possibility, yeah, when I saw them go down 3-1, I was like, he coming back. I told y'all that in my last video. See, it would be more plausible for them to do that than to let KD come in and burn everyone. Yeah, it's the entertainment. Exactly. So if KD came in and, made it close, next game, headlines, will KD play game six? KD's warming up game six, doesn't play in the first quarter. Golden State is down by 7 into the first quarter. Second quarter starts, no KD. He's still on the sideline. Golden State goes down by 15. Third quarter, KD comes in, plays the third quarter. Looks just great. Right. Comes in, looks great, scores 20 points the whole game. Boom. But he still looks questionable. 20 points is not his full force. We just saw him do 50 points. He scores 20 points, not a big deal. They barely squeaked by him. They beat him by 2 points. Game 7, you still have the intensity of is KD okay? You still have that talk. You have Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. You know what I'm saying? The channels. All the focus is on KD's leg. That's just good TV. That's just good entertainment. That's good hype. You know what I'm saying? Before a boxing match. That's just good hype on that end. And then come in and make it a barn burner. Make it a double overtime barn burner, and then don't make KD the MVP. Make the MVP Green or Clay. Make it somebody coming off the bench. Yeah, don't make KD the MVP. Don't make Curry the MVP. Don't do that. Because it's the same. We've seen that before. Make Clay the MVP. Have him come in and score 35, 40. Just go off. You know what I'm saying? Make him the MVP. Make him want to, he's not going anywhere. He loves that team. But just bring up more talk about, I'm just saying, put the light on someone else. But we know the difference maker was KD. And then after that, have KD talk about not being on the team anymore. Make the injury known for what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Talk about where the muscle innervates into the leg and then all this, and have a phony doctor report or whatever. But then they'll say this is what really happened to KD, so everybody will not speculate so much, and they'll know exactly what a sprained calf is and how bad it is or whatever, and then make him questionable for next year, and then make him fall off the team, and then boom, end up on Phoenix or whatever. You guys get what I'm saying? You gotta mix it up. You gotta mix it up. If you don't have some kind of storyline, mix up, some juiciness, then it's gonna be the same old, same old. When that happens, you're gonna lose a lot of people. You're gonna lose a lot of money because you guys are uncreative. You guys don't know how to write a storyline. You know what I'm saying? Might have to throw some money at somebody who could write a good story. But that's just what I see. That's just what I see. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's gonna happen tonight. I think KD is gonna come in and, I don't know, drop 20, drop 25, 30 on you guys. And I think and this is what I don't want to happen. I don't want KD to come in and drop all those points. Because if he does, it's going to take the wins out of the sails of everyone as soon as he walks on the court again in game 6. They're going to be like, oh, it's over. That's not what you want. You don't want people to have that empty feeling of we can't even. It's not even going to be a fighting chance. You don't want that. You want the people to still think that they have hope. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's your boy Tone 202, man. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. My battery's dying, and I'm gonna go ahead and go. But like I said, if I'll come on live tonight during the game. If you guys want to talk, that's fine. If you don't, then I'll just go ahead and get offline. All right, peace, man. God loves you. So do I.